Jesus summarizes all the commandments in one word: love. In response to a question asked by a scribe, Jesus put together the love of God and love of neighbor, quoting from the book of Deuteronomy and Leviticus. In Jesus' time, teachers studied the law, which is fundamental to the life of the Jewish people. The Mosaic Law contains more than 600 precepts, which will indeed be difficult to memorize and to follow to the letter. And so it is customary for people to ask teachers to give a summary of certain laws or about specific activities or aspects of life. This will help them along in their attempt to be faithful to the law. Here, ask about the greatest commandment. Jesus speaks of love, the solid foundation of and motivation for life. And this love has three dimensions: love of God, love of self, love of neighbor. Each one is intimately connected to the other two. Our love of God should be undivided and unconditional, because that's how He loved us. And love is reciprocal. Our love of God should embrace our whole being, our heart, soul, mind, and strength. Our love of God should not just be sentimental, it should be concrete. It should show forth by our action. Jesus in the Gospel of John said, "If you love me, you will keep my commandment." So we know what the love of God looks like. And it makes sense, because the people we love, we try to please them, even when it is difficult, because of the love we have for them. And it is good to know that living by God's law is the best advertisement in drawing others to know Jesus and to follow Jesus. People will say how much we love God, and they want to go to our church. They want to go to relationship with Jesus because we are. Because our actions really do speak louder than words. Our love of God should overflow to our neighbor. St. Paul, in his epistle to the Romans, says this: "He who loves his neighbor has fulfilled the law. The commandments: you shall not commit adultery, you shall not kill, you shall not steal, you shall not covet, and any other commandment are summed up in this sentence: you shall love your neighbor as yourself." Love does no wrong to a neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfillment of the law. Our love of neighbor should be all-inclusive. It should not discriminate against people because of their race or religion or their lifestyle. Our love of self should transform our love of neighbor, because the measure for our love of neighbor is the love we have for ourselves. Somebody who don't like himself or herself cannot love the other person. So sometimes when people do things like bad stuff, you'll be wondering, what is wrong with this person? This person must hate himself or herself. Only the one who loves himself or herself can truly love his neighbor. And this time in our history as humanity, as a country, we truly need love. And you and I are the light of Christ. We have experienced that love. We need to go show it to other people. The love of God that we have, others should experience it from us. I would like to close with a quote from the first letter of St. John. And I will ask that, as we begin this 30th Sunday in ordinary time, not just today, not just tomorrow, let us think about what love is. It's a word that people use often, but the meaning has kind of disappeared in people's heart. What it really means to love. St. John, in his first epistle, said, "Beloved, let us love one another because love is of God. Everyone who loves is begotten by God and knows God. God is love. Hatred cannot see God, however small it is, because hatred is contrary to his nature. God is love, and those who are in God must be in love."